Hey everybody, welcome back. Mr. Balker here again. I'm going to cover with you our Amplify lesson, which is 7C, subunit 3, lesson 3. This is the last one in the brain and brain science unit. This is a kind of an interesting lesson because it goes into one of the major important tenets of writing an essay. Okay? Writing an essay, the goal of an essay is generally to argue a point, to convince someone of something. Right? It'll also be to inform people, but usually the information is provided to make an argument. So we're going to talk about that here in just a couple of minutes. First thing I want to do, though, is share with you the information about a woman who has an issue with her vision. Okay? So this is it right here. Let me move the camera.
Unlike Graham, Peggy Palmer has normal vision.
No, she's not bad.
She should be able to copy this star easily.
I'll never get this star. I'm hopeless at this.
But something odd is happening. One whole side of the star is missing. Peggy has a condition called visual neglect. Although her eyesight is fine, half of her visual world no longer seems to matter. 10 years ago, Peggy suffered a stroke in the parietal lobes of her brain.
The parietal lobes are concerned mainly with creating a three-dimensional.
Unlike Graham, Peggy Palmer has normal vision.
No, she's not bad.
She should be able to copy this star easily.
I'll never get this star. I'm hopeless at this.
But something odd is happening. One whole side of the star is missing. Peggy has a condition called visual neglect. Although her eyesight is fine, half of her visual world no longer seems to matter. 10 years ago, Peggy suffered a stroke in the parietal lobes of her brain.
The parietal lobes are concerned mainly with creating a three-dimensional representation of the spatial layout of the world, allowing a person to walk around, to navigate, to avoid bumping into things. When the right parietal is damaged, the patient is unable to deal with the left side of the world.
This condition has fascinated neurologists for more than a century because it reveals not only how the brain shapes the way we perceive space in the present, it even determines the spatial look of our memories. This became apparent when Peggy was asked to draw a daisy from memory.
Right. A daisy it shall be.
For neuropsychologist Peter Halligan, Peggy's drawings reveal exactly what's gone wrong.
It's like a radar system, whereby the actual radar system on the left-hand side is no longer working well. If someone comes in on my left-hand side now, or I hear a sound, my eyes will immediately move to the left-hand side. That makes me, for evolutionary purposes, very aware of my environment. Because if I wasn't aware of those things, I'd have accidents. I'd get hurt, or I might get eaten by wild animals and whatever. Now, in Peggy's case, she will not attend to those things that we would normally be aware of.
Peggy thinks she's drawn her daisies right, until it's pointed out to her.
You've noticed that, have you?
Oh dear.
So what Peggy's drawn for us is several nice daisies with the left side missing. Same with this one, and this one. And look at this one. This is a very good example.
I've done it on all of them.
Sorry. Which means that she's not only neglecting events in the world, but when she conjures up a mental image, she's ignoring the left side of that mental image.
Well, I thought I was going all the way round, you see.
And this shows you that this is not simply a sensory problem, but a problem of consciousness.
I don't know. It's because I was so concentrating on that side. It takes everything away, you see. It's attention, really. It's taken away. There must be two attentions somewhere in your body. That one side's taking the other one away. I can't make it out at all. Very odd.
Okay, so in that video, this woman has a kind of unusual condition, right? She's simply trying to trace or draw those very simple shapes, but there's things that she just can't do on that one side. Why? Again, it has to do with a brain injury, okay? Understanding what has happened to these people allows us to draw conclusions about their particular condition. So what you want to do here is go on to slide number 2. In slide number 2, it just asks a very simple question. What do you notice about what she can and cannot do? Okay, that's it. What do you notice that she can do and what can she not do? Then on the second card of the same slide, it asks you a couple of questions. What can Mrs. S do and what she cannot do? And then once you're done with writing what she can do and can't do, compare it. The point of this exercise is to get where you're looking at evidence and argument. When you write an essay, the objective is to convince somebody of something. And the way that you do that is to provide evidence, because like I've told you before, nobody cares what you think, they only care what you can prove. If you can find evidence in the text that supports your theory, you're on the way to having a reasonable argument. If you just want to say, well, I think this, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to take that as anything. You have to be able to say, I have observed this over and over and over, therefore I draw this conclusion. What the assignment is for this lesson is on number 3. It sounds really easy, but it is going to take some thought. All you have to do is highlight the claim of this essay in yellow. Figure out what the point of the essay is. What is it they're trying to convince you of? That is a claim. I am the greatest English teacher in the world. That's a claim. I would need a lot of evidence to support that theory, okay? That's a claim. Find the claim in this essay and make it yellow. On the second card, read the whole essay, okay? Make sure that you've got the claim in yellow. Then find 3 pieces of evidence to support that claim and make those blue. After you have your evidence, okay, you can say, in the text it says this. That's evidence. Evidence by itself isn't enough. You have to explain why evidence is relevant. You can't say, white cars are the best cars in the world, Ford sells 100,000 white cars, GM sells 200,000 white cars. That doesn't tell me anything. What you would have to say is the reason this is important is because that's their number 1 seller. It being that popular indicates to me that it is in fact the best. That's the explanation of the evidence. So again, you have claim, this is what I'm arguing. Then you have evidence. This is proof of it, right? This is what the facts show. But at each piece of proof, you need to explain why it's relevant. You have to tell people, the reason I'm telling you this information is here. And you want to make those in green. So, yellow for the claim, blue for the evidence, and green for the explanation of the evidence, and that's it. Shouldn't take you too long. The big part is going to be reading the essay. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next semester.